students are given a structured way where they are asked to sit and study for maybe for 25 to 40 minutes maximum. Like usually we go for the breathing exercises, but what happens is students, they don't know the exact way of doing it, but then we have certain simple way of doing it, like inhale.
Okay.
And then as the finger comes down, exhale. So there is a rhythmic way of doing it. So by the end of this procedure, when you reach at the end, you can the student can be trained in such a way, like just to have the check of his pulse rate, mix of mind, body, and habit adjustment. So in this way, a student is kind of trained for a systematic, structured way of learning style. Phone usage, keep away your phones. Second, laptops. I would also suggest students stay away from kitchen area.
Oh.
So basically for enhancing focus, attention, concentration and all. ഒരു കുട്ടിയെ 8 എന്നുള്ളത് എയറിൽ വരക്കുമ്പോൾ they have to focus on their finger, and along with the finger movement they have to move their eyes accordingly in the same direction. അവർക്കിത് അറിയണം എന്നില്ല, and this is something which parents can actually train their kids. Parents or teachers can train their kids, and success is not about scores. No exams is better than your well-being.
നമസ്കാരം. ആനുവൽ എക്സാമിനേഷൻസ് അടുത്ത് വരുന്ന ഈ ഒരു സമയം എല്ലാ പേരൻസിനും വളരെയധികം ടെൻഷൻ നിറഞ്ഞത് തന്നെയാണ്. റിഗാർഡിംഗ് ദി എക്സാമിനേഷൻസ് പേരൻസിന് ഒരുപാട് ഡൗട്ട്സ് ആൻഡ് കൺസേൺസ് ഉണ്ടാവും. അതിലെ വളരെ കോമൺ ആയിട്ടുള്ള കുറച്ച് ഡൗട്ട്സ് ക്ലിയർ ചെയ്യാനും കുറച്ച് എക്സാം പ്രിപ്പറേഷൻ ടിപ്സ് പറഞ്ഞു തരാനും we have a very special guest with us today, Ms. Sasneem Sanoop. Welcome, ma'am. Ms. Sasneem Sanoop is the head of Counseling and Special Education Department at Habitat School, Al Jarf. First of all, thank you so much for being with us here today, ma'am. ഈ ഒരു എക്സാം സമയം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കുട്ടികൾക്കെല്ലാം വളരെ സ്ട്രെസ് കൂടിയ ഒരു സമയം തന്നെയാണ്. So how do we exactly navigate the stress? അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എങ്ങനെയാണ് കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ഈ ഒരു സ്ട്രെസ് ഉണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളത് നമ്മൾ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുക?
See, അത് either through parents അല്ലെങ്കിൽ through teachers, school will get to know about it. For example, as a counselor, നമ്മൾ അറിയുന്നത് ഒരു ടീച്ചർ റെഫറൽ ഇടുമ്പോഴാണ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു പാരൻസ് നമ്മുടെ അടുത്ത് റിപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴാണ്. അപ്പോൾ യൂഷ്വലി വാട്ട് ഹാപ്പൻസ് ഇസ് എക്സാം അടുക്കുന്നതിനോട് കൂടിയിട്ട് സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ദേ എക്സ്പ്രസ് ഇഷ്യൂസ് ലൈക്ക് മേ ബി ഹെഡ് ഏക്സ്, കോൺസ്റ്റൻറ്റ് ഹെഡ് ഏക്സ്, ടമ്മി പെയിൻസ്, വേരിയേഷൻ ഇൻ ഹാർട്ട് ബീറ്റ്സ്, പിന്നെ ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ടി ഫോക്കസിങ്, പിന്നെ ഭയങ്കരമായിട്ട് നെഗറ്റീവ് തോട്ട്സ്. സോ ഈ വക സിംറ്റംസ് കുറച്ച് കൂടുതൽ കാണിച്ചു തുടങ്ങുക when the exams are approaching. So if it has been identified and when parents report it to the school, we get to know that the student might be going through this. So based on that, maybe we might have to have a detailed inquiry about whether it is actually anxiety or whether it is any medical thing, condition or something. We have to look into that. But basically what I'm trying to tell is when these symptoms when they are identified at the earliest stage, നമുക്കിത് ആങ്സൈറ്റി ആണെന്ന് അറിഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ we have to address it at the earliest.
Okay.
Otherwise it can lead to severe mental health issues leading to depression or chronic anxieties.
So what role do teachers and parents play in helping the students navigate through the stress or the anxiety management?
Both of them play a very important role. See, parents at home, they are the people who are with the student. Pinna school varumbo, it is teachers. They are the primary contact of students. So they really have a great influence on students. So first and foremost, they have to create a growth mindset in students. അതായത് എക്സാം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് it's a matter of effort. It's not only about scores എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ. That thing should be created within the students. Then second thing, we have to kind of there is a tendency among parents and teachers. There might be a tendency, I'm not saying there is, but there might be a tendency of comparisons. And we have to avoid comparisons, enhance positive talks so that students feel motivated. Another thing is ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ കൂടുതൽ കണ്ടുവരുന്നത് both the parents are working.
അതെ.
And our students have lots of distractions around them. So basically, I would tell, just be around them, around your students, around your kids. As a parent, keep monitoring what all the daily routines and the activities students are into, especially the social media usage. And when it comes to teachers, they can have some kind of give some career insights to the students, so that it is not only for the exam purpose the student studies. There is a vision the student is working towards. So the goals are set accordingly and student studies accordingly. One is that, and apart from that, ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ നോർമലി കണ്ടുവരുന്ന ഒരു ട്രെൻഡ് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, ആസ് ഐ സെഡ് ഏർലിയർ, both the parents are working. Okay, അപ്പോൾ they find it very difficult to systematically ഒരു റുട്ടീൻ സെറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് അവരായിട്ട് ഡെയിലി ബേസിസിൽ പഠിക്കാൻ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ട് അവർക്കും. അവരെ to sit with them, it's difficult. So normally what happens, all awakens once they get the exam schedule. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ കുട്ടികളുടെ മനസ്സിലോട്ട് കൊടുക്കുന്ന ഒരു പിക്ചർ എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, എക്സാം വരുന്നുണ്ട്, പഠിക്കണം, മാർക്ക് കിട്ടണം. So exam and mark is connected like that. Rather, we should gradually instill in the minds of students consistent study habit is very important, and exam is something which is to test your knowledge. Not your scores.
Yeah. Can you share some practical stress management techniques that the students can use before and during the examinations?
Yeah, sure. See, when we say stress management, it's like a mix of mind, body, and habit adjustments. So when we talk about before exams, students, especially focusing on board students or the regular students, what I would say is we should have a proper learning technique. Learning technique should be there. Where, for example, usually we suggest students to go for Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro technique in the sense, rather than sitting and studying, students are given a structured way where they are asked to sit and study for 25 to 40 minutes maximum, and then take a 5 minutes break. So this can be repeated, maybe for 4 times or something. The student can repeat the same pattern, and then towards the end, they can take a longer break. So in this way, a student is kind of trained for a systematic, structured way of learning style. So one is Pomodoro technique, and then other thing what they can do is they can actually go for some relaxation techniques, maybe some mindful activities. I can just give an example. Usually we go for the breathing exercises, but what happens is students, they don't know the exact way of doing it, but then we have certain simple way of doing it, like 5 fingers breathing techniques. We say it like that, where you can actually spread out the fingers of one hand, and using the index finger of the other hand, you just have to trace the fingers, outline, you just have to trace the outline of your fingers. So what exactly, you have to start from the edge of your thumb, and then as the finger goes up, inhale. Okay. And then as the finger comes down, exhale. So there is a rhythmic way of doing it, so the students know, okay, when I reach here, you have to inhale, exhale. So by the end of this procedure, when you reach at the end, the student can be trained in such a way, just to have the check of his pulse rate, whether there is a difference when he started the activity, or when he's done with this. Okay. So the student can actually feel it, So similarly, there are many relaxation techniques which the student can, very easily give it a try, provided they have to do it in the proper manner. Then it is very important that students train themselves for positive self-talk, or we can say practice self-compassion. So when I say positive self-talk, that they can do it, rather than saying because these days, as we say, since we're talking about anxiety, we know that എല്ലാവരുടെ മനസ്സിലുള്ളത് എനിക്ക് പറ്റോ എന്നുള്ള. അങ്ങനെ ചിന്തിക്കുന്നതിന് പകരം, okay, I have so many days, I will be giving my full percentage, I'm doing enough practice, and I will do it. So that kind of positive affirmation is very important. So these are certain things which students can do before exams. And along with this positive affirmation, another very important thing what student can do is visualize his future. For example, when it is exam time, suppose it is the first exam, and I'm doing my practice well, my preparations well, And when he's visualizing that I have completed my exam and I'm feeling very happy and I'm smiling and coming out of the exam hall, feeling elated. Yes, my preparation was very good. So that gives a positive vibe, you know. So visualizing is also gives a very good impact on students' preparation. So these are few things they can do before the exams. And when we talk about during the exam, I normally suggest my students, like, avoid friends who gives negative vibes because that is very important, because we tend to have that friendly conversation with students, but there might be some, like, who might come with that negative energy. So it's always better to stay away from them. Second thing, always ensure like at least 10 to 15 minutes before you enter the exam, just close your books and give a small massage for your face and just try to take deep breaths. Or maybe you can try the same 5-finger breathing techniques. Okay, so that will help you to calm down. So when I'm just talking about this, one of my student quote I was just having a conversation with her, but I asked her how, because she used to get this anxiety issues and panic attacks and all. So I used to ask her, like, what exactly you feel. So she used to say, ma'am, exam hall I go blank. Exam, okay, അത് overcome ചെയ്തിട്ട് അപ്പോഴത്തേനും overcome ചെയ്ത് വരുമ്പോഴത്തേനും I reach the exam date is there. And by the time I reach the exam hall, my hands will be sweating. കാല് മരവിച്ചിരിക്കും, ഷൂ ഒക്കെ ഇട്ടത് I feel like I don't feel like moving, I can't move, നമ്പായിട്ടിരിക്കും. പിന്നെ അത് ഓവർകം ചെയ്ത് വരുമ്പോൾ, ലൈക്ക് ഡീപ്പ് എക്സേലിംഗ് ആൻഡ് ഇൻഹേലിംഗ് ഒക്കെ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് കണ്ണ് തുറക്കുമ്പോൾ I realize that I have gone blackout. I can't see anything. My vision has blurred. And then by the time she works on that, she realizes that, oh my God, I have already, kind of done with half an hour of my exam duration. And then she can feel that there is a race happening between her heart rate and her brain. So there is a struggle again there. And there are situations where she felt like, she had puking sensation or she felt dizzy and all. So this is what students go through. So it is something like what they need to know is like, it is very important that they go for this relaxation techniques, and they should know that what they need to focus during the exam is keep your calm, read the questions carefully, because when this is going inside, automatically what happens, it goes up and down. Yeah. And then most importantly, you're already in a state of stress. So to manage that, another better thing what you can do is go for the easier questions initially and then come back to the tougher ones. So these are some simple techniques that they can follow during the exams.
How can students improve their focus and concentration while preparing for the examinations?
Okay, so many people believe that focus is all about willpower. But I would say focus is all about, inculcating brain-friendly habits. But നമ്മൾ അങ്ങനെ പറയുമ്പോൾ first itself, it is very important that students should set realistic goals. ഇപ്പോൾ okay, like ഞാൻ ഇന്ന് ഫുള്ള് കെമിസ്ട്രി പഠിച്ച് തീർക്കും. So that's not a realistic goal. So the child has to rather fix a goal in such a way that ഞാൻ ഇന്ന് organic chemistry പഠിക്കും. Maybe chapter 5 of organic chemistry, and within so and so duration. But that's more like a realistic goal. And then, second thing, distractions. Okay, to minimize distractions. So first, of course, phone usage. Keep away your phones. Second, laptops. The notes and all are shared through, portals, like LMS, etc. So set some website blockers. Okay, so that that can be dealt with. Then again, when it comes to your study table, avoid a cluttered, free study table. Okay, that is very important. Then apart from this, I would also suggest students stay away from kitchen area. Because normally what we tell our students is like the smells distract you, so stay away from such places. So that you're in a calm, quiet and in a distraction-free environment. This is what we tell. Then another thing, what students can do is like practice some brain gym exercises. Like when we say brain gym, it's more like, brain gym is actually done to increase the focus and concentration of students. So there are certain brain gym exercises which student can practice. Either it can be during their leisure time or before they start their studying process. Then there are some, we cannot say like, this is a fixed method that it can benefit so and so student. So it's like based on individual differences, ഓരോ കുട്ടികൾക്കും effective ആവണ method different ആയിരിക്കും. Because I've come across students who find it very difficult, very easy to study with certain soft musics or white noise, where we say to avoid distractions. നല്ല ഒച്ചയും ബഹളമുള്ള വീട്ടിൽ to stay focused, there are times, because we are living in a Gulf country, I have seen students saying that they find it difficult to focus at home. So in the situation they use this and it has been very effective for them. So then again another thing is mindful activities. Mindful activities, maybe they can take a break and then go for a mindful walk where they focus on their steps and their surroundings, and then have where that activity is like helping them to increase their focus.
Brain gym എന്ന് മെൻഷൻ ചെയ്തിരുന്നല്ലോ for focus and attention, right? So what exactly is brain gym and how can the students use brain gym for focus and attention?
See, from the term itself, like gym. നമ്മൾ ജിമ്മിൽ പോകുന്നത് നമ്മൾ ഓവറോൾ ഫിസിക്കൽ ഇംപ്രൂവ്മെൻറ്റിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ലൈക്ക് വെൻ വി ടോക്ക് അബൌട്ട് ബ്രെയിൻ ജിം, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ഫോർ യുവർ ബ്രെയിൻ. സോ ബേസിക്കലി ഫോർ എൻഹാൻസിങ് ഫോക്കസ്, attention, concentration and all. Appo there are many exercises that comes under brain gym. And for example, I can tell you about lazy 8. So we actually we guide the students to draw an 8 in the air. Okay. അപ്പോൾ ആ ഒരു കുട്ടിയെ 8 എന്നുള്ളത് എയറിൽ വരയ്ക്കുമ്പോൾ they have to focus on their finger, and along with the finger movement they have to move their eyes accordingly in the same direction. So it's basically helping to enhance the eye-hand coordination and thereby developing their focus level. And it is very good for improving your reading skills and all. Okay, so angane brain gym nu parayanathu, there are different exercises that come which helps to enhance your brain activity. It might be in different areas. Okay, so this is just an example. So basically, see, students avarku idu ariyanam illa, and this is something which parents can actually train their kids. Parents or teachers can train their kids from very small age onwards. So because this has been proven to be very effective in enhancing focus and attention among students.
What is that one advice you would give to the student who is facing extreme anxiety, fear or failure?
Okay, see, when we say fear of failure, ee fear of failure nu parayanathu thanne, it is actually a fear of failing oneself or others. When we say others, it can be parents' expectations, teachers' expectations, it can be anything. So to overcome this fear of failing, I would say, change their perspective. For example, നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ എക്സാം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, as I said earlier also, it is not just about scoring high marks. Okay, or we can put it the other way, like failure എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇറ്റ്സ് എ ഫീഡ്ബാക്ക്. ചിലപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു പ്രയർ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ആയിരിക്കാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് ഓൾറെഡി ഇന്റേണലി നമുക്ക് തോന്നുന്ന ഫീലിങ്സ് ആയിരിക്കാം ഈ ആങ്സൈറ്റി നമ്മളിൽ വരുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഫിയർ കൊണ്ടുവരുന്നത് മനസ്സിലായി. അപ്പോൾ ബേസിക്കലി see, what we need to instill in the minds of the kids are like, every setbacks, they have certain lessons to teach us. So ഒരു failure ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പോൾ we have to introspect where we stand, where we lacked, where we need to work more. So that is one aspect, like changing their perspective. പിന്നെ എക്സാം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് like it is not going to, why exam is important എന്നുള്ള ഒരു പോയിന്റ് അവർക്ക് കിട്ടിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് നോട്ട് സംതിങ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ഗോയിങ് ടു ഡിറ്റർമിൻ യുവർ എൻറ്റയർ ഫ്യൂച്ചർ, whether you are going to be successful or not. It is just a pathway, like it will take you to where you really want to go. Like ഇപ്പോൾ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി റിക്വയർമെൻറ്റ് അനുസരിച്ചിട്ട് എന്ത് വേണം, ആ പ്രിപ്പറേഷൻ എങ്ങനെ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ സ്കോറിങ് എങ്ങനെ, ആ ഒരു ഇൻസൈറ്റ് സ്റ്റുഡൻറ്റ് should have. Then we can say, like for example, I said earlier also, like giving positive affirmation, that is important. Like this will change, or I'll be able to overcome this. So based on my performance, I have to set standards. Idananusarichu, like, changes konduvara, and giving that I will be able to do it. So this is very important. Pinna exam ennu parayunna oru factor nu parayunnathu, it should not be like we should not go for that all or not approach, in the sense like ഒന്നെങ്കിൽ എക്സാം എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ ഇറ്റ് ഷുഡ് ബി കംപ്ലീറ്റ് സക്സസ് ഓർ എ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ഫെയിലിയർ. ദർ ഇസ് സംതിങ് കോൾഡ് ദ മിഡ് പാർട്ട് ഓഫ് ഇറ്റ്, വേർ ദർ ഇസ് ഓൾവേസ് എ ചാൻസ് ഫോർ ഗ്രോത്ത്. ആ ഒരു ഫാക്ടർ വെച്ചിട്ട് മുന്നോട്ട് പോകുക എന്നുള്ളത്.
How can schools create a supportive environment for students coping with educational stress or academic stress?
See, school can play an important role in inculcating this in students, that exam is not just about scores or results, it's more about growth. So they can actually make the classrooms more interactive rather than being rather than rote memorization. Then if an open forum or a platform can be given for students to come out and ventilate their feelings, അതായത് എക്സാം റിലേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ട് അവർ വാട്ട് ഈസ് ഗോയിങ് ത്രൂ ദിയർ മൈൻഡ് ആൻഡ് എന്താണ് അവർ ഫീൽ ചെയ്യണത്. സോ ദാറ്റ് ആക്ച്വലി വെൻ ദാറ്റ് വെന്റിലേഷൻ ഹാപ്പൻസ്, ഇറ്റ് ഹെൽപ്സ് ടു റെഡ്യൂസ് ദ മെൻ്റൽ ബർഡൻ. Then you can actually train the students with relaxation techniques, time management. I think it happens across all schools, but that also helps a lot to a large extent to the students. Engane time manage cheyanam, engane stress manage cheyanam, that way. Then very importantly, what I've come across like in my professional life is like, നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഇത്രയും കുറച്ച് നേരം നമ്മൾ കുറേ സിംറ്റംസ് ഒക്കെ പറഞ്ഞു സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് അണ്ടർഗോ ചെയ്യണത്. So sometimes it is very difficult for parents and teachers to understand that the child is what actually the child is going through ആ ഒരു ടൈമിൽ. അപ്പോൾ it's very important that school can arrange for some training sessions for both parents and teachers in identifying the symptoms which students may have. And this actually plays a very crucial role. Karam, many studies have been proving that more than 50% of students actually go through those anxiety issues. As I said earlier, it is very important that it is identified at the earlier stage, so that it doesn't go into a chronic stage. So it is very important that this training is arranged. So if it is from the school's end, it is better.
So if you are able to give one golden advice for the students who are preparing for the exams, what would be it?
I would just say, exams is to basically test your knowledge, not your worth. So success is not about scores. It's more about learning, resilience and growth. So students, do your best, take care of yourselves, and always remember that no exams is better than your well-being.
എക്സാക്ട്ലി മാം പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ഏതൊരു എക്സാമും നമ്മുടെ വെൽബീയിങ്ങിനെക്കാളും ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യരുത്. കാരണം ഇന്ന് പേരൻസ് ഒക്കെ ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ ഒരു പ്രഷർ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യം തന്നെയാണത്, അല്ലേ? സോ ഈ ഒരു സമയത്ത്, ഈ ഒരു സ്ട്രെസ്ഫുൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഈ ഒരു സമയത്ത് എല്ലാ സ്റ്റുഡൻസും പേരൻസും കേൾക്കേണ്ട കുറച്ച് കാര്യങ്ങൾ തന്നെയാണ് മാം ഇന്നിവിടെ പറഞ്ഞത്. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable time and for all those valuable insights you have given to us.
Thank you, Sanam, for giving me this opportunity.